Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking about the game from Wednesday between Manchester City and Real Madrid and why we fell short. Because there's a lot to it and I personally blame Pep a lot. I blame Silva, not just because of that penalty. I've been blaming Silva all game long. I said from the 22nd minute, take him off. But Pep did nothing and that's why I blame Pep. So, what went wrong? This is our formation when we defend. This is how Manchester City defends in a 4-4-2. That didn't work against Real Madrid because Real Madrid was not getting on the ball. Real Madrid was like, you can have the ball, you can attack all you want, we're gonna counter, and we're gonna score, and you won't have time to get into a defensive shape. And it didn't work for Real Madrid. They had one counter that worked, for the rest nothing worked. But Walker, being an idiot, he let Vinicius, I think it was Vinicius, right, be completely free and score. That's how Real Madrid scored. Their tactics didn't actually work. But we didn't have time to get in shape. Walker couldn't keep on Vinicius, who is literally the only threat in that penalty box. There was nobody else. Go look back at the goal. It was just, I think, Rodrigo coming from the right. And there was someone with him. I think it was Diaz or Guardiola. And then there was Vinicius running inside. And instead of tracking his runner, which is basics, Walker ran towards Rodrigo, who was being covered by two defenders. Why? Stupid decisions. That cost us the game. Because, of course, Vinicius scored the goal and Ederson had no chance. But defense actually worked mostly well, except for the first 10 minutes. And if Walker didn't have that Bozo moment, we would have won the game. But there is more that went wrong in this game than just defending. Mostly, we should have still won it. Even after going 1-0 down, we should have won. But we didn't. And this is why. So first of all, this is what we look like when we attack. Akanji will be pushing up a bit, sometimes he will be over here, sometimes he'll be over here. And Diaz will be more central. This is what he looked like when he attacked, something like this. Haaland had no ball. And people like to criticize Haaland. But I've seen from Haaland today, the one chance he got to move with the ball, he moved the ball forward and created a chance. The literal only time Haaland received the ball and was allowed to play as a traditional striker, he created a chance. Against Luton Town, we used Haaland as a traditional ball-holding striker, as a traditional focal point striker. He scored 5 goals. Pep Guardiola is just stubborn. He is not using Haaland right. He wants Haaland to just stand in the box, draw away defenders and score tap-ins. That is not enough. Haaland has the capacity, if you look at his Dortmund time, he was very great during that time, even against teams like PSG, which were stronger back then. Haaland was very capable of getting the ball, driving forward and making an assist. Or just moving the ball forward and then getting it back and scoring. We don't see that with Haaland at Manchester City. And that's the biggest problem. We can talk about Silva being in midfield rather than Foden. Because, okay, Silva offers us more backup. When, for example, Camavinga tried to counterattack, Silva is going to be better at preventing that counterattack than Foden. So, okay, Silva makes sense. Foden is being relegated to graveyard touchline, where he can't use his, where he can't do what he does. But that's not the problem. Foden has and can and does rotate with De Bruyne. Foden can do what he wants. That wasn't the problem. It all came down to one defender on Haaland and he's useless. And Pep did not change. Grealish was absolutely worthless today. He wasted time while we were losing. So, sorry, aren't you supposed to waste time when you're winning? Like that's at least what I think. Not when you're losing. Grealish held onto the ball way too long. And Madrid had it too easy. We made it too easy for Madrid to defend. This was not a good Madrid team. We made it far too easy for Madrid to defend. And another problem that we had is Kyle Walker being all the way over here. Why? It has not worked once. And the entire season it has not worked once. But Pep Guardiola is so arrogant that he thinks tactics that do not work against fucking Luton Town, that do not work against relegation teams in the Premier League, they will work against the best team in the world. What arrogance! Pep Guardiola doesn't care about winning. He wants to prove that he is right. That's why we lost the Champions League in 2021 against Chelsea. That's why we lost the COVID League. That's why we have lost the Champions League against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu, when Benzema came back with that dodgy penalty, but whatever, he got it. We shouldn't have let them come back that far anyways. Pep Guardiola has cost Manchester City so much because of sheer arrogance. Sheer arrogance. And I think it was the 70th minute or something like that, I think it was even later, when he finally took Jack Grealish off and brought on Doku. And where is he? Here. Immediately we were playing better. I don't like Doku, I think he is a bad player. But we were playing better because we were attacking directly. And that's about all you need to know. If a bad player like Doku attacking directly can cause so many problems for Real Madrid, helping De Bruyne to score, then why don't we attack more directly? We have to keep using Doku as an escape. We have to keep going to Doku again and again and again, even though Doku is not good, because he was the only one who is allowed in Pep's system to attack directly. De Bruyne isn't allowed to attack directly because yeah, he's allowed to cross and stuff, but Haaland is Haaland. He can't do anything. He's being man-marked to oblivion. So, okay, is Haaland allowed to drop in deep and help with build-up? He can't do that. Go watch him at Dortmund. I did. He is very capable of doing that. But no, he's not allowed to do that. Why, Pep? Because. So if you want to play more directly, then Silva onto the wing and Foden. No. Why not? Okay, so what are you changing, Pep? Nothing. You're changing nothing. So you're telling me you're watching this game for 90 minutes straight. You are saying that nothing we do works. And instead of making changes that you have made in the past, that have worked, like swapping Foden and Silva, like dropping Haaland deeper against Luton, and even against, was it Everton? I'm thinking about a game last season where Haaland dropped deeper and we really beat, and we got forward really easily, but I can't remember who it was. Might be. No, it was Brighton, wasn't it? Anyhow, that's not the point. Pep Guardiola could have made more changes. Akanji wasn't dropping his best game. Okay, take him off and bring on Stones. Okay, he did that. Way too late. It was like the 85th minute or something like that. That's way too late. Okay, Guardiola helps us attack, so okay, you keep him off. Rodri, maybe swap Silva and Rodri, and then Rodri can use his attacking prowess, or even better, take Silva off because he's trash today, bring on Kovacic, and Kovacic is better going defending, and then Rodri, who is very excellent in his attacking prowess, can push forward. He did none of that. Pep Guardiola sat there, watching this game go away from us, and he made no changes. Pep Guardiola is a mediocre endgame manager, and that has been proven since the day that Arteta left this club. Why did we go Centurion? Because Mikel Arteta was at this club, and people don't like to hear that. That's an uncomfortable conversation. Mikel Arteta is a good game manager, who has zero skills in squad building, who has zero skills as a man manager. But an endgame manager, he has excellence. That's why Mikel Arteta, even though the team that Arsenal have is not that good, is able to compete with Manchester City. When Mikel Arteta was at this team, we got 100 points, and 99 points or 98 points in back-to-back seasons. And we won a domestic treble, by the way, and a League Cup in that 2013 season. When Mikel Arteta left, Pep Guardiola was left with his really good squads, his ability to build a good team, but without his endgame manager, which was Mikel Arteta. That is why Manchester City has gotten progressively worse. We won a treble because Real Madrid was having a poor season, because Inter Milan, let's be honest, they aren't on the level of Manchester City. Not last season, but at least this season they were great, or are great, should I say. Bayern München, we got a bit lucky, let's be honest. They just changed manager and Tuchel is a terrible manager, as we have seen. We won the treble because Arsenal bottled it. We didn't win a treble on our own abilities. I hate to say it, our treble was not one made from our own abilities. No one has ever won a treble, except Barcelona and Bayern München, because they were that good. Trebles have always come with the aspects of you got lucky. And this season could have been Manchester City's chance to win a treble, not because they are lucky, but because they are that good. And Pep Guardiola blew it. Pep Guardiola is the reason why we are not 10 points clear in the league. Because we have played Walker all the way over here, which causes us to concede so many goals, and he then changed the system. For going to extra time, he brought on Alvarez. Now Alvarez, and he also brought on over De Bruyne, and I think Silva was still on the pitch. He brought on Alvarez for Haaland, and he took off De Bruyne for Kovacic. De Bruyne was not having a great game. Haaland was invisible. But if it goes to penalties, those are our first two penalty takers. And they're off the pitch. Okay, so what do we do if it goes to penalties? Well, you saw. We lose. It went to penalties. Haaland wasn't there to score. De Bruyne wasn't there to score. Which we would have been 2-0 up. Well, 2-1 because they missed their first penalty. Then Alvarez scores his penalty. 3-2, and suddenly when Silva goes to take his penalty, there's a lot less pressure on Silva and a lot more pressure on the goalkeeper. And I doubt that the goalkeeper is confident enough to stay in the middle when there's so much pressure on him. Because if you score a fourth, you pretty much already win. Because then you only need one more penalty or one save. So Manchester City had no plans of going to stoppage time. Or of going to penalties, And Silva was allowed to stay on despite being terrible. Silva was terrible all game long. I do not care what he did in the past for us, yeah? I love Silva. He's not that good anymore. I wouldn't want Sergio Aguero, at like 36 or whatever he is, to come back to my club and play football for us. He's not that good anymore. And yet on Twitter, on my timeline, I have seen people trying to defend Silva because he's a... This would not fly at Real Madrid. At Real Madrid, they do not care if you're a legend. If you stop being good, you're gone. That's just how it is. We need to start acting like a proper club instead of saying, oh, but he's a legend, you can't criticize him. Fuck off with that. I don't like that defeatist attitude. It's okay to lose because he's a legend. No, it isn't. Going out to Real Madrid in Champions League, like I've been hurt before by this club in the Champions League. Going out to Real Madrid 2 years ago. losing the final to Chelsea, going out to Lyon and Monaco. Those things hurt, yeah? But this is something else. And it's because we have already won it, and we are the best. We are the best. We should have won this game. There was no reason, no excuse for us not to win. Real Madrid, in the Champions League, 2 years ago, they had Benzema. They were good. They were really good. They went on to win it. They were the best team in the world at that point. They were walking La Liga. Losing to Real Madrid then, it sucked. But it was acceptable. Because Real Madrid at the Bernabeu is not easily beaten. Real Madrid at Bernabeu is gonna come back. That's what they do. But this was at the Etihad. This was us, as Champions League winners, trying to defend our title against Real Madrid, who was without Touré. They were completely helpless. They were defending 80 minutes long, and Pep Guardiola sat still, changed nothing, and lost us this game. You can't blame Rodri. You can't blame Silva. You can't blame Akanji. You can't blame all our players. You can't say, oh, De Bruyne missed a tap in. He did. But, you can't blame that. That's completely fair. But at the end of the day, you have to look at how we played. See that we played way too slow. See that we had one player who was going up the pitch fast. And this guy is directly responsible for our goal and for the misstep in from De Bruyne. For all our chances in the second half, it's all from Doku. And you just have to wonder, why, Pep, did you not switch to a more direct approach rather than the slow controlled approach? Do you know why? Either because Pep does not have the confidence, which in case you don't, why are you here? Or 2, because he doesn't have the skill as an in-game manager to see that it isn't working. It is very easy in hindsight to analyze a game and see what went wrong. The real skill of a manager is to do it in the game itself. Either Pep does not have that ability, or he does not have the confidence in his players to play a different style than usual. Whichever the case, it's not acceptable. I have not liked Pep Guardiola in a very long time. I liked Pep Guardiola in the Centurion season. That's the only time I ever liked him. He won us a domestic treble. I didn't like Pep Guardiola. I don't like what he does. We went completely astray in the COVID season. That's all on Pep. We had the best team. It's on Pep. I have never liked Pep Guardiola. He's going to win us a 4-peat, I can already tell you that. But he is not the best manager in the world. Don't let this fool you. He is the manager with the best team in the world. Pep Guardiola is better as a second manager than he is as a first manager. Because he needs someone to do the tactics for him. Pep Guardiola's tactics just don't work. Pep Guardiola wins games because he has the best team, not because he has the best tactics. And you can see that in how often Manchester City is counter-attacked. How vulnerable. That's one thing to be vulnerable on the counter-attack. It's another thing to be completely toothless on the counter-attack. Pep Guardiola is not as good as people think he is. His skill to build a squad, to build a team, is formidable. His ability, after the game, to look at formations, to look at systems and to analyze them, is amazing. But in games, he just does nothing. He does not provide leadership in a game. And that is what cost us today. That's why we lost. It was 1-1, but we ran out in penalties. I just don't get it. Why does Pep never learn? He's been a manager for like 20 years now, I think. When did he take the Barca B job? Because he was first manager of Barcelona B. I think it's 20 years now. Or 19 or something like that. In fact, let me look it up. When did Pep Guardiola become what's up, B manager. Okay, 2007, so not 20 years yet, but we're getting close. 17 years. Almost 17 years. 16 years and a few months. uh, we should have won. We should have won. Pep Guardiola didn't make changes that he needed to. And you can't tell me that I'm talking in hindsight, because all of the changes that I have proposed during this analysis are things that I have said on Twitter, that I have been saying during the game. This is not hindsight. This is me just saying, do this. And before you say it's easier from outside perspective, that's true. It's definitely true. But I would expect Pep Guardiola to be a better manager than me, and to be able to see what is going wrong. But he wasn't. And I don't understand why. Why is Pep Guardiola so incapable of making changes during the game? He never does it. And it's pissing me off. Even if we win the fourth pitch, yeah, I'm not gonna be happy with Pep. Because he has cost us the treble. This treble was a walk in the park. Yeah? Madrid were coming to the Etihad. They've never won against us at the Etihad. We let them have it. Chelsea and the FA Cup semi-final. It's a walk. It's a walk in the park. We need to be ready. We need to defend deeper against Chelsea than usual. But Chelsea can't break down a low block. We will frustrate them, we will counter with our superior team, and we'll score. Pep won't do that. I already know he won't. But that's the easy way to beat Chelsea. And 3, we are first in the Premier League and have the easiest run. This was a treble given to us on a silver platter, and Pep Guardiola threw it away. I am not going to be happy with Pep if he wins the fourth beat. I'm going to be happy with our team, because the fourth beat is something special. I'm not going to be happy with Pep. Pep needs to be criticized way more. Manchester City fans defend Pep way too much. If Pep Guardiola was a Real Madrid manager, he would not survive. I promise you, he has failed too much in the Champions League to survive at Real Madrid. This type of stuff does not fly for Real Madrid. So why should it fly for us? Because Real Madrid is a bigger institution than us? Well, we're never gonna catch up if we don't start acting like them. As you can tell, I'm very frustrated. And I hope next season, because we are bringing in Savio, I hope Pep Guardiola does not ruin Savio like he has ruined Grealish. Grealish never takes initiative anymore. If he does the same with Savio, that's not players that Pep has ruined. I don't like this horseshoe football from Pep Guardiola. It's so boring. It's so boring to watch. As a City fan, yeah, it's boring to watch. What's entertaining about watching people pass a ball in a horseshoe until one defender has a balls moment and he chipped the ball in and he scored? Nothing. Playing more direct football. Foden, De Bruyne, Haaland, they are all very good at direct football. Probably too. But you don't want to play direct football. Why? I could go on a rant right now, but that's gonna be pretty pointless. So, because I've touched upon everything already, so I'm gonna end the video here. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree with me, if I think I said something wrong. By the way, I'm wearing this because it's pretty cold in here. Maybe I should close my window, that might help. So tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me if you disagree, if you agree. But yeah, I just don't think Pep Guardiola this season has been great. I don't think he has been great for most of his tenure at Manchester City. He's just been average and had Mikel Arteta to disguise that averageness in the first 2 seasons. So on that bombshell, I'm out.